You see, we are created in a magnificent vibration, in an absolutely magnificent vibration. Born risk takers. Free. That conditioning takes place after birth. You can change it. It takes guts. It takes goals. Have you know something? You're sitting there watching this and you're thinking, my God, I'm going to change something. I always say, keep reminding yourself that you have tremendous reservoirs of potential within you, and therefore you are quite capable of doing anything you set your mind to. You really can. I don't care what the cynics tell you. Quit listening to some of your peers. Now all you must do is figure out how you can do it, not whether you can or not. When are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? You've got to create a sense of urgency. I'm going to do it right now.
If you can see it, you can do it. But the beautiful truth is you can do anything. We got to know there is a place. There is a specific frequency. And if you get on that frequency, you're going to attract what you need to you. This is what it's all about. Why have you been endowed with such awesome powers? If you'll make a committed decision, this I'm going to do. And you don't have to know how. You do not have to know how. The second you make the committed decision, you flip your brain onto the frequency that you have to be on to attract what you have to attract to manifest the thing that you want. If you can see it, you can do it. It's got to be something you want. Wants come from inside. Act like you're already there. Walk, talk, speak, live like you're already there. Don't set a small goal. Don't set something that doesn't really wind your stem. Set it so big it jazzes you. It really gets you going. When something of a very high nature resonates with the very high side of you, you'll know it. You'll know it. You will feel it. Feeling is conscious awareness of vibration. The only prerequisite, do you want it? Not do you need it, not could you do it. The only prerequisite is, do you want it? Take the lid off your marvelous mind and dream. For goodness sake, give yourself the right to do that. Get your analytical mind out of the way. Put it in your pocket for a while. All you're doing is exploring, daydreaming. What did Lawrence say? All men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their mind waken the day to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act their dream with open eyes to make it possible. This I did.
Hey guys, good morning everybody, or good day wherever you're tuning in from. I've got my good friend Joey waiting in the wings to come in. But look, obviously welcome to episode 56. Unlock your potential, set goals and transform your life. And I'm interested to get Joey's wise words on this. I'm hoping he's going to talk about A, B and C goals and things like this. But look, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And of course, you're here at the Freedom, Health and Lifestyle channel, right? And of course, we can get into what all that means later. But look, looking and feeling the best you felt in a decade. Don't forget, we've got the 16-week challenge. If you want to learn more about that, reach out. And of course, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share, do all those things. Download your goal sheet. The link is in the description. And this is your Freedom, Health and Lifestyle goal sheet, where, of course, you can get in the best shape that you've been in a decade. Right? You know, it's all about looking better, feeling better, moving better, thinking better, doing better, all of those things. Better is a good thing, right? We all want better. So with no further ado, let's bring in Joey. Joe, how you doing?
Just checking whether it's mute or not, but I'm very good, Mike. Nothing better than be with you on every Sunday night on my site. very, very happy. I think it's the energy that I don't want to miss is the environment that we created. I think we created this environment between you and me, and I know for sure that one day will grow, and it will be ripple effect in other people's life, and that's why we're here. Because we want to leave a legacy, we want to build, make an impact and contribution to this wonderful world that we're living in. Because we've been blessed with a lot of blessing in our life, and we want to give back in some form and shape.
Of course, Joey. And look, just for if you're watching live or on the replay, go to facebook.com/joey.unger to learn more about what Joey's doing. Joey's helping a whole bunch of people. He's making a difference. And of course, you can become part of that. But look, Joey, so we're talking about, we're having a conversation today around, setting goals and transforming your life, right? So, you can set goals, for milestones, if you like. Maybe you've got, for whatever reason, do you know what I mean? It could be financial goals, physical goals, whatever goals. I suppose, look, we all have goals. Do you know what I mean? Whether you know you've got them or not, we all have them. The goal is to wake up in the morning. Do you know what I mean? Go to work, do whatever it is, make some extra money. Do you know what I mean? Buy that thing. It could be a goal to buy something. So, Joey, talk about, Bob Proctor, obviously one of our mentors. You can talk about Bob, but Bob talks about, A goals, B goals, and C goals. Can you explain those?
I think I need to refresh on that topic, Mike. To be honest with you, I think I remember those goals, but in order. If you can help me with that, I'm trying to look for the.
Yeah. So, like an A goal is something that that you can already do. Do you know what I mean? You've done it in the past maybe, and that you can do it again. So certainly, when it comes to the 16-week challenge and losing weight, maybe in the past you've tried to lose weight, or you've lost weight in the past. So you can do it again. Like if I was talking to Heather about this, and I was saying, look, if you've ever lost 1 pound, well then that you can lose 10. That you can lose 50, because if you can lose 1, you can lose 100. So it's about consistency then. So so an A goal is something that you've already done it in the past, and you can do it. So like if you wanted to buy a new car, or your goal is to buy a new car, and you've already bought a new car in the past, well, that's just an A goal. Do you know what I mean? You've already done it before in the past. Then you've got a B goal, which is something that you've never done, but you just know you can do it, right? So like obviously when I started my business, I'd never owned a business before. I'd never, had a business. I'd never had a business like in the industry that I'm in. But I just knew that I could do it. And now today, I own a business which is, Ireland's largest, most recommended, most trusted in-home pet care company. And of course, that's incredible. Do you know what I mean? But I knew I could do it. I'd never done it before, but I knew I could do it. We set that goal. And we did it. And of course, we set goals along the way, for different turnover projections and stuff like this, having a business plan, right? So, we've done all those things. But a C goal is something that is so far out of reach, right? Like it's just a mind-blowing goal, right? So, what could that be? Well, it could be anything. It could be anything that you want it to be. So what Proctor always talks about, set a C goal, set something that's so big, that you're just blown away by it, and in fact, Linda, Bob's wife, she has a great story where she was, Bob was talking to her and they were talking about goals, and he was saying to her, well, how much income do you want to earn? And she was saying, well, I'd like to earn, let's just say, for example, 50,000 a year or something. He said, well, why don't you times that by 100? And she was like, what? Yeah. And was like, right, okay, well, maybe 500,000. Well, and he's like, well, why don't you times that by 10? You know, what, like 5 million? What? You know, so, and it's just expanding on the goal that you have, you know, expanding on it to where you're at the point of, I don't want to swear, but like, bloody hell, do you know what I mean? That's huge. Do you know what I mean? And even in the video at the beginning there, and we'll play it at the end, you know, he talks about you don't have to know how to do it. You just have to really want it. You just have to know that that's what you want, that that's what you're going for. And you'll figure out a way, you know. And I suppose I talked about this. I think I talked about it last week, where you have that central thought, you know, and that central thought, that could be the goal, you know, and that's you know, and everything else orbits that and goes around that. So you're just thinking about that. You know, all of your actions want to be in line with reaching that target, with reaching that goal. You know, you do that, Joey. You know, in the things that you do on a daily basis. What do you call it? Your daily mode of operation, right? There's things that you do every day, you know, which are focused on attaining those goals and achieving those goals. Tell us about that.
Yeah, you know, when you explain those A type, C type, B type, and C type goals, it's a lot of things is coming back now, and you're so right. The A goal is, you know, that's the easy one, because, you know, you can, for example, if you buy a car, you know, let's say it's a Ferrari this year, you already own a Ferrari and you want to have another one, but just upgrade model, you knew you're going to get it straight away because you already owned one before. And, you know, the B-type goal, you know, is something that you never had it before, but you know, and you already, you know, knew a way or a friends or network that they already achieved it, and you can team up with them and try to achieve that goal. So you have all the resources and everything that you can rely on it, and you have the confidence, even though you haven't received that B-type goal, but you can do it because you know someone, and you might have the resource to achieve that. C-type goal is the real deal. That's the one that make you grow. And I think Mike, you and myself, the one that we both work on it in is a C-type goal. And that's why we still stand up, even though, you know, we're tired. You know, I just came back from 3 days field exercise with the army, and you know, the body is fatigued and tired, but it's my C-type goal that I want to achieve, and that's why I still turn up. I still go have a warm shower, freshen up, and just get here on time, just to make sure that you know, we're gonna turn up together, work as a team, and you know, because this journey is we do it for ourselves, but we know for sure we're not by ourselves, because we have leaders and community and environment that will support us. But because we say yes and tell the world and figure it out ourselves in our journey, we are kind of stretch ourselves. And you know, when you stretch yourself, that's when the growth is coming. If we go back to the some of the episode, we talk about a seed that planted on the soil. And you know, I just came from an environment that was freezing, wind, raining, and I said to myself, I see myself as a seed. You know, it's depend how I can respond to this kind of an environment, whether I'm going to thrive and grow from here, or I'm going to back myself up and go back home and just give up. But I said to myself, that's not me. I still don't know how, but you know, this is what I really want. I really want to make a contribute to my country, to my community, and my family. And this is why I'm here, out on the field. We're freezing, and while my family still have a warm bed and you know, and have a roof on their head and enjoy those pleasure, because I make a committed decision that I want to do this. And you know, and whoever gonna come across my path, I'm gonna bless them with the same one, and I'm gonna help them. So you're so right. You know, C-type goals, it's the one that will stretch you, and the one that stretch you, it will grow you. You know, that will make you grow. And it's like the little seed that planted on the soil. It will face a lot of challenge with different season, winter, summer, hot. You know, the bird will come and try to take you off from the ground. But if you are resilient, persistent, and have a strong desire to succeed, it's only a matter of time. And C-type goal take a lot of courage, take a lot of cuts, and you have to make time as your best friend, and you work with time. Sometimes you're gonna be falling to the ground, grow, and sometimes you're gonna be screaming and pull your head, and because you try to figure out how I can get this. But like Bob said, you just don't know you just don't you don't have to know how. All you have to do to ask yourself every single day is, this is what I really want. And because if you keep asking that question, and this is what you really want, straight away it will get you to action. And we talk about the DMO, we call it in our professional, is daily method of operation. We have a different type of daily method of operation. For myself, Mike, I like to get up in the morning and just get into motion. By getting into motion is to go to the gym. I can warm up myself and do a stretch at home, but I feel like when I get up, especially in winter, when I get up, get dressed, and leave my comfort of my bed, and the warmth of my bed, and my wife, and I get dressed and get into the car, drive about 10 minutes to the gym, I will already start my day, ahead of everyone, because everyone is still sleeping. I'm up and go and just go to the gym and just work out, start have conversation and talk to people. So, you know, it, it, uh, w- everyone, there's a lot of people, they pay a lot to do goal setting. But for my humble opinion, Mike, I used to do my goal setting in my mind, and I learn now it's very important that you put what is in your mind into paper, and it's so powerful because whatever thing that's stored in your mind, because our mind is like a computer, and it store a lot of information, including the goals, the dreams, the things that we need, that we want in life. And the moment you put down on a piece of paper, that's the very moment you start creating your goals. And I learned that, before. I tell you an example. When I was young, my mom used to take me, because I was the youngest in the family. I have a younger sister, but I was the youngest second to the youngest in 11 children. And we in mango season, mango fall everywhere. They just, the wind just harvest the mango for the village. And what we used to go to do, and I just follow my mom and collect them. And I remember one day vividly, and it's never, that image never depart from my mind. And because I achieved that in my journey, I remember I saw a plane, just I just see the white smoke, traveling far in the sky. And my mom was looking around for me, and I was kind of like, missing the action. And she found me staring at the sky, watching the plane. And my mom said to me, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Mom, I want to travel the world. I wanna be in the plane one day." It's funny because that seed that I planted, like Bob said, I didn't know how. I was in the island. I didn't have any passport. I the normal travel from the island to the main island is through ship, sailing. And I never been on the plane, but now I travel a fair bit of a place nowadays, and there's more to come in the future. But I still remember that's one of my goals from very young age. I want to fly in an aeroplane, travel to different countries, and with God blessing, and eh, I travel, and every time I travel, I reflect to the very moment that I tell my mom that I'm going to travel around the world and fly from different places to different places. So I'm very grateful, Mike. Talk about goal setting is very important in our journey, because if you don't have a goal, it's like a ship with no rudder. And Jim Rohn talk about it. If you have a ship with no captain, no crews, and no a plan, it's like a ship that putting on the water without rudder, and just let the current and the wind took it, and it might be end up in the reef, a shipwreck. But if you have a captain, which is the captain we talk about is ourselves, and the crew, which the people that you surround yourself with, and you have a plan, which is a set of the goals of the set of the goal, and your plan, and you put that plan into work by doing your daily method of operation, whatever you want to do to accomplish that. And there will, for me, there's a very good chance that you will get there. And myself, I'm still in the course because I know I have a goals. I know the destination I want to go. I still figure out how I can get there, and I'm doing the activity that I want, that I knew, and I still review it, Mike. Even though I think yourself, you're related to this. We do things and then we review. Okay, this is not working. How can I do something? And we, because of the great environment that we have, the great leader that we have, the great mentor that we have, we kind of like learning, applying, adjust, and just repeat. If it's work, we put it to the side, draw another plan, and then we apply that and do that. And if it's work, we repeat it, and we call it now professional duplicate it. So we kind of duplicate it. So I kind of a little drift from the setting goals, but I think, Mike, it's very important that we share our humble journey together, and it's so empowerment. Listen to you and your journey, your family and your business journey, your personal journey, your professional journey. I'm telling you, you inspire me a lot, man, than you think.
Well, Joe, to be honest, you were talking about getting in motion, and I think that's really interesting. But I wanted to go back to something that you said when you were, obviously you've just been gone on this 3 days with the army, doing, I suppose, but whatever you were doing there. And you were talking about your family being at home and things like this. And that made me think, and this is a goal that you want to do. This is something that you want to do, which means that you have to make a sacrifice. There's sacrifices that you have to make, and most of us, we sacrifice ourselves. We sacrifice our life, we sacrifice our time, by doing things that aren't really what we want to do. Thinking thoughts that aren't moving us in the direction that we want to go in. Having jobs that don't inspire or influence us, but only give us enough just to pay the bills and keep that roof over our head. And we do this every day, so, you're making a different sacrifice. The sacrifice that you're making is so that you can have this better future for yourself, as opposed to the sacrifice which maintains the present kind of norm that you have, So talk about sacrifice, Joe, because I think it's interesting, that the majority of people sacrifice just their life. They settle. They settle for what they've got, for where they're at, and that's a sacrifice in itself. That's just a sacrifice. You're sacrificing yourself. Whereas what you're talking about is setting goals, and then sacrificing time with your family so that you can have more time with your family in the future. And I suppose, those things that you're doing, I see that as, influencing the people around you. They're looking at you, they're watching what you're doing, they're seeing, the difference that you're making, not just in your own life, but in your family's life and the people that you're working with. But this all takes a sacrifice. Yes, you've set goals to do that, but you have to sacrifice something else, Joey, because the truth is you could have just, when you ended up in hospital, sitting there in hospital, you could have sacrificed all your goals, all your dreams, all your ambitions, just to maintain something that you think, that you have, but you didn't. You made sacrifices and said, screw it, let's do it. And you were going for it. So talk about sacrifice, because I think sacrifice goes hand in hand with goal setting, because if you're making a committed decision to change something, to do something, to work towards something, you have to sacrifice something. You have to sacrifice something. Something has to bend or break or go, or, because you can have it all, but to get it all, you have to sacrifice where you're at.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike. I think everyone can have their define or definition of a sacrifice from their own experience on journey. But I would love to share my journey, and I before I share that, because I'm going to share something on based on my faith. And if you're watching this and you have your own faith, we truly respect this. This is a safe environment. We can talk about our faith and share about our faith and what we believe in. There's no right or wrong here. That we just respect each and everyone that's watching this with your own based on your own background and faith. There's a favorite verse in the Bible that I memorized since from very young age through Sunday school. And it said, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only son. And whoever believe in him should not be perished, but have eternal life." And for me, since from very young age, that's how I define sacrifice. For someone that loved us so much that he gave his only son. And I'm talking about that. And funny, because when you start to engage with this question about sacrifice, while I was away on the field freezing, the area where we went is one of the coldest one in Australia. It can be snow in winter and it's freezing. It can go to minus. I know I can't compare to other people's, other country winter, because everyone is different. But in here, when it's dropped down to below 10, it's freezing here. And when it's go minus, it's freaking freezing for because this in Australia is a very hot country, especially in summer. And while I was laying my little tent set up out on the field, and it was raining and hailing somewhere, but we can feel that a little bit of the hailing and cold, freezing. I was, shivering inside my tent, and I said to myself, why I'm doing this? And and like you said, I can be in bed with my wife, snuggle together, warm and feel that. But I did this because I want to create a legacy. I want to do something that that define who I really am. Because God have gave me a few chances in life, and he loved me so much that he, in my faith, that he forgive me for what I have done in the past, present, and in the future. And because I have that kind of love to my family, I don't want to be comfortable at home. I want to be out on the field, make an impact, earning some income, so I can bless my family with. And bless my daughter or my son, whatever they want me to do, they want to do, something that they want to enjoy together with me and my family. So when I attach that kind of love to my goal, that's what I call sacrifice. Because that's that the moment I said to myself, because I love my family so much, that's why I'm here. And because one of my goals to make a contribution to the country, to my community, to my family, and make an impact, that's why I'm here. Training, to be ready. And it's funny when we talk about that. There's a phrase I think Les Brown said: "It's better to be prepared and not call than call and not prepare." So I'm doing my part as a combat engineer to prepare myself, for whatever service or calling in the future. But at the same time, I have a goals. And because I attach my feeling, and we talk about it, you talk about the 16-week, when you attach your feeling to your goal, it's a totally different piece. It wake you up in the morning without an alarm. It make you walk 3 times, 4 times instead 1 time on the block. It make you, say no to the food that we know it's not good, and it doesn't help your health. And because it's so powerful when that two connection, and that's what, for me, when I attach how much I love my wife, my daughter, my son, and my family to my goals and what I really want in life, that's when sacrifice comes. That's why I'm on the rain, I'm on the field, I'm on the trench, grinding, preparing, training, because When the calling is coming, I want to be ready. I don't want to be the call is coming and I'm not ready. So it's same when come to the calls and stuff like that, because we learn from Thinking and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill said, when rich decide to come, you better be prepared. You better be prepared. And that's what I'm doing here, Mike. And I think yourself, we are here grinding, planting the seed. Because when the harvest season is time for you and I, we need people to help to collect the harvest. And that's why we're doing this, because we know we are planting a seed. It's a sacrifice. You can go and have a beer with your friend this time, or myself. I can already in bed, get ready for the next week. But we make a commitment because we love so much our family and we want to change some people's life out there. Because what you and I having and knowing, there's a lot of people want to know. And in our job, in our profession, is to educate people to understand. And when people understand what we offer and supply to them, and they make an open mind and want to have a look or want to try it, man, there's a lot of people changing their life in an instant because of someone like yourself and myself, where make the sacrifice to just show up, sharing the good news, preaching the what we have, what we offer to the world. And the good thing is, we don't want to keep it to ourselves. We want to leave this world with empty, because we came with empty, and it's so funny because I read a book called Die with Nothing, Live with Plenty, or something like that. I'll have to recall the book because the book has come to my mind, but it's very powerful, and I really like it. And like I said before, when we came to this world naked, we got nothing, and because we have all those blessings that whoever you want to call it, myself, I call it God bless us with, and we have the understanding that we need to share it with other people, because it's not for us to keep it for ourselves. Because one day we're gonna leave this place, and then we won't take all the wealth and with us. We're gonna live like when we come. We're gonna go back empty. We can't take the house, the boat, the car to where we belong. It's all, it's those things. We have to enjoy it. We have to share what we can. And, a lot of people need to know that. And that's the beauty of why we're doing this, because the legacy. One day, someone will say, I was lost and I didn't know what to do, but I go through some clip on internet and I saw two guys. One is white, one is brown. I don't know where the other one was. And they were talking about something, and they say something that changed the trajectory of my journey. And that's the legacy that will live on.
Do you know, Joe, like when I'm listening to you, there's so many things that you're doing, which are goal orientated, right? So, you just talked there about reading a book. That's a choice, right? Self-education is a choice. You're choosing that because it's uplifting you and moving you towards, the outcome, the goal that you're aspiring to achieve, because without learning those new things, those new ways of thinking, you wouldn't be able to move forward. You'd just be staying in the same place. You'd be treading water in a sense, but by, making that choice, like it's obviously a goal to read something every day. Do you know what I mean? To read 10 pages or to do something, to listen to an audiobook. It's a goal to do it, but doing that, and that's, doing that moves you forward, but when I think about goals, it's an opportunity for you to take ownership of your life. You're choosing the direction that you're going in, instead of letting somebody else choose the direction, letting your boss at work choose the direction that you're going in. Like it just gives you that opportunity to take ownership of what it is that you're going to do and where you're going to go, and knowing where you want to go is important, right? Like when you go, like you don't just go out to the car and get in the car and say, all right, I don't know where I'm going, and just drive around the block. You know where you're going, right? You do. You have a plan. You know where you're going to go. So look, tell me a little bit about, why goals can help you just take back a little bit of control, that sometimes we can feel out of control.
Thanks, Mike. Mike, before I answer your question, I would like to share the book, because I love when we share something, and it's part of the thing that I like podcasting and broken live like this, because that's how I learn. I learned a new books by going to an event last week, and I want to share with you that books after. But the book that I shared before, it's called Die with Zero, and by a guy called Bill Perkins.
Bill Perkins.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have a look for that.
And the subtitle is that getting all you can from your money and your life. It was recommended to me by a friend, and it's very good. I got the audio version, but I would like to buy the book, because, like I said before, we come empty to this world, and we definitely will leave this world empty. And we can't take all the wealth and the the house, the physical things that we accumulate in this world. But yeah, thank you for allowing me, as you share, take own responsibility of your life. And like the subheading that you said, own your life. This week, on the 17th, my dad will be 92 if he's still alive. And I make a post about him, because he make a lot of impact in my life. Who am I now? I give back the gratitude to my parents, both my parents, my mom. They taught me in a different way. I always refer to my mom as like a nutrition. She always cook nice meal for us, make sure that all the good stuff. And one of the things that she was special, she was mixing a lot of traditional organic medicine, like from the bark of the trees, some of the leaves straight, in our home, where all the plants surrounding, like the fence around the block. It's all for purposes, for medical purposes, because she was also a healer too. She used to heal young baby. And, I grew up, all of our siblings, 11 of us, every morning we have to drink the green drinks from mom. And funny, we have our green super mix now in our company, very great stuff. A lot of people have testimonial how good is the super mix. Moringa plants is the tree of life. If you can look that up, Google or Bible talk about it. It's this amazing product. But anyway, the importance of making calls, because you want to take full responsibility, take full ownership of your life. I think I read something, or listened to Jim Rohn. He said the biggest sign of showing maturity in life is when the person make the decision to take own responsibility of their life. And you believe it or not, I think there's a lot of people, they still don't take, they don't show maturity in their life, because they still rely on other people to make decisions for them. They maybe still rely on their spouse, or their kids to tell them, this is what you should do. And it's funny, like I reflect back on my old man this week, and I write a post about it, because I want to give gratitude, and that's the legacy. I never stop talking about my dad, because the impact he made in my journey. He's no longer with me now, but just like Bob, God bless them. but their legacy will live on because of the impact they make. And I think that's one of our biggest goals. You and I, we're doing this podcast because we want to make sure that someone one day will, need help, and they will listen, get the opportunity through the social media to listen to our podcast, and we'll make change their life. And, I think we'll do our part in contributing to this world. So I was thinking,
I think you're right, actually, because I think, look, neither Joey and I are claiming to be anything special. Like we put our genes on the same as everybody else, just one leg at a time. Do you know what I mean? But I think where we're coming from is a place of service, and you talk about service leadership a lot and things like this. This is important, and even that, everything that Joey and I are talking about is really about trying to help other people feel better about something that makes them feel bad, right? It's coming from a position of, knowing that you can work your way out of any situation. You can do it. You just have to believe it. You have to know that you can do it. And we're here to tell you and to encourage you and to support you. Now, we can't do it for you, but we want you to know that you are able to do it. You can do it. You can do anything that you put your mind to. And by having a goal, and as Joey was talking about, that C-type goal, which is out of reach, you've never done it before, but you can be part of a community where you can see other people who are a little bit further ahead of you, and you can see that they're doing something. Well, if they can do it, you can do it too. That's really what it's about, So, setting a goal and you achieving that goal doesn't just influence you. It influences the people around you. It influences your kids. It influences your community, because, if you're winning in life, what do you think happens to the people around you? They start winning too. Because it breeds success. Like now, if you're fucking losing and you're losing a lot, it doesn't mean you have to stay that way. You could just make a decision that you're not having it anymore. You're not losing anymore, and you can set some goals. You can do what Joey does: read a goddamn book. Do you know what I mean? To change the way that you think. And if you change the way that you think, your outcomes are going to change. Things are going to change. Now, no one wants change forced on them. But we all want change. We all want better. Going off on a rant there, Joey.
So yeah, it's so true. Mike, and it's so funny because how it start to interrelated in some way, because we have the same mindset with same goals. We want to contribute. We want to make an influence. We want to make an impact. And it's something you say, it connect to what I'm thinking and what I was being through on the week. And like I said, I share my journey with my dad. And one thing that I share with our audience, that's that Bob told us that you wrote down your goals in a goal card, and you carry with me. And I have a few goal cards. I make it myself. I just make it and laminate it and just cut it up and just carry with me. And I like shirt that have pocket on my left hand side because I put it next to my heart. And it's a fun. People may think, oh, that's stupid. That's nonsense. It's not real. But trust me, when you write it down, carry with me, look at it before you go to bed, before you wake up, before you get up and start your day, you keep telling a lie to yourself, one day it will become true. And it's very powerful concept. And one of the goals that I wrote down, because I was thinking of my dad, and I want to say this, Mike, I was thinking of my dad, and I was so grateful for who I am now because of the seed that he planted with my mom, but because it was special because that's his birthday. And I remember I wrote a card, and it's based on a story about Dale Carnegie. Is a Andrew Carnegie and Napoleon Hill. When Napoleon and Andrew Carnegie invite Napoleon Hill to take the challenge of meeting all the successful people in America, and wrote a book about their philosophy, the idea of what make them success. And when Napoleon Hill accepted the invitation, and Andrew Carnegie tell him he won't support him financially, but he will, support, if we want to bring the people to him if they need, that's the only support that he will. But for paying him, no, he have to work himself work out for himself how he will earn income. So he take the challenge, and I think he gave him something to read in the first 30 days by heart, and he gave him this kind of phrase: standing in front of the mirror and read this to himself. Andrew Carnegie, I am not only going to equal your achievement in life, but I am going to challenge you at the post and pass you at the grandstand. And that's the word. At first, Napoleon Hill was living with his nephew, I think, that he wanted to support, and he doesn't want to when he read it out in front of the mirror, he didn't want his nephew to hear about it because he thinks it was a stupid idea, because he doesn't know how to beat the wealth of Andrew Carnegie. But by time he read it 30 times, he started to believe it, that he can do it. If he collect all this and write a book about it, make a training about it, and it happened. He was, make a lot of millionaires and change a lot of life, including ourselves. His book is still valid. The context is still valid. And I wrote this card to my dad back in 2021 when I make the decision after my heart attack. And I wrote it, and I named my dad instead of, I just replaced the name. And my dad's name is Saya. And I said, Saya, I am not only going to equal your achievement in life, but I'm going to challenge you at the post and pass you at the grandstand. And this week, when I reflect about him, I was so overwhelmed knowing that I make a decision that I will take ownership of my future, my journey. And it's funny because I'm reading this one with, don't know how I'm going to achieve my dad. Because my dad success, building a big family, 11 children, and, having multiple jobs, multiple stream of income to support us and educate all of us, and then when I reflect, I said to myself, damn, I kind of like fist bump myself, and I said to myself, you know what? One of the things that make it different from my dad, it's I take full ownership of myself. I make a commit decision. I'm not going to stay in the island. I'm going to move overseas, build my life there, even though I don't know the people, I don't know the language, but I will make myself become a student, learning, networking, and have a willing and a desire to be succeed and work hard everywhere I go. So, I said to myself, I'm very, very grateful. I'm not comparing me for my dad, but I said to myself, Mike, to be honest with you, I think I passed my dad in the post, and I'm gonna meet him somewhere to talk about it. All the things that I achieved because of the seed that he planted in me, that he won me, and I think that's my dad won all of us, all of my siblings, to take full responsibility of our own future, of our own life, and our own journey. And I go back to my faith. Jesus said, "If the people who have ears will listen." But some people, they have ear, they never listen. But I'm sharing this because as a student, you always want to listen because you never know. There's a seed is planting. When you accept it and have an open-minded, that beautiful seed will start to grow and beautifully become a tree. And not only you can feed and bless your family, but whoever come to that tree will be feeding from that tree too. So Mike, it's a wonderful concept, and I'm very grateful that how we interrelated our journey, the way we think, the way we have question and answer. And I hope that I'm adding a little value to the amazing concept that you come up with.
No, there's no doubt that you are, Joey. There's no doubt that you are, because, you're very inspirational, and there's no doubt that your words are going to resonate with people, and of course, like me, you believe that you, me, anybody can do anything that you believe you can do. And you already know that to be true. Do you know what I mean? So especially when we're talking about type A goals and type B goals, it's that type C goal, which is really going to stretch our limit of self-belief. Do you know what I mean? But that's what you have to, that's what it takes. And look, we're going to get back into that and in a second. Just want to get onto this, the 16-week challenge. Hold on, look at this. We've got a great big banner. Let me get rid of this thing here. Okay, yeah, so we've got the 16-week challenge, right? So the 16-week challenge, it's really about you taking control of your life by setting goals, looking and feeling the best you felt in a decade, having a plan, following a plan, and people can follow a plan. It just comes down to you making a committed decision. So download your goal sheet, fill it out, direct message it to Joey, message it to me, and we can start a conversation, on how you can look and feel the best that you felt in a decade. That's what it's about, So that's just one area of your life that you can take control of, and by taking control of it, it helps build your self-confidence. It helps build your self-esteem. So not only will you be looking and feeling the best, but you'll be thinking the best you felt in a decade. Joey's already recommended, a book. What was that book called again? Hold on a second. I have it here. The Die with Zero, Bill Perkins, getting all you can get from your money and your life. To be honest, looking, thinking, feeling your best you felt in a decade, what the hell could go wrong? Nothing. You're only going to get better. So I'm going to encourage you to, look, get on board. Don't wait. Start now. And it just starts with you saying, yes, I want to do this. So the 16-week challenge is not about me. It's all about you. It's about you looking and feeling and thinking the best you've felt in a decade. Imagine how your life might turn around. I'm not saying that your life's bad right now, but even if you're just settling for what you've got, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing your family a disservice, because there is more that you've got to give. Joey is a great example of, how he's got more to give, and he's making those sacrifices so that he can have it in the future, but really he's got it right now. Because it's in his mind. Joey's living his dream. Joey's living his future in his mind, and then he's creating it in reality. That's all that's happening here. And you can do that with the 16-week challenge. If you want to, maybe if you've got an event to go to, because I love tying things to an event, if you've got an event to go to, and, maybe you want to lose 20 or 30 pounds to go to that event, well, you need to get that thin feeling now. You need to start thinking thin. It's a feeling. And if you can have that thought, if you can plant that vision in your mind, and you can wrap it with what Joey calls love, wrap it with love and feel that, then you've got that thin feeling. Then your decisions to do things, to move in that direction, are going to come more naturally. They're going to be easier, because you're already living it. You're already there. In your mind, you're already there. When I started my business, Joe, to be honest, in my mind, it was already done. It was already done. There was just a passage of time now that was going to go by until it became a reality. And it's the same for the 16-week challenge. There's a passage of time that's going to go by until it becomes a reality. But in your mind, you can have it already done. And this changes everything. By believing, in yourself, even when others don't, by knowing that you can do it and you can have it and you can achieve it, is literally half the battle, right? Because if you know that you can do it, if even if you don't know how to do it, but you know that you're going to achieve it, there's nothing that can stop you. Nothing. Only you can stop you. Now you can let other people influence you, but they're not stopping you. Only you are stopping you. Nobody else. Oh, you can blame that person because he upset me or whatever. No, he didn't upset you. You let yourself be upset by something. So, being in control just of your thoughts makes you, because if you can come to terms with that, you control how you think and how you feel, it will literally change your life. Because now you're aware. You're aware that you are in control of your outcomes. You're aware of you're in control of your results. And if you're not getting the results that you want in life, it's because you're letting circumstances dictate what's going to happen. Download the goal sheet. Get in touch with Joey, get in touch with me, and ask, what are my next steps? Joey's got a dozen good books that you could read right now, which would set you on a path. We're part of a much wider community, which is filled with like-minded people. And you're probably thinking, I don't even like you, Mike. So what? You'll find someone else in the group that you like. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. So, to be honest, you want to surround yourself with people that are going to help you. Do you know what I mean? And want to see you succeed. And that's why I love the organization and the group that we're part of, Joey, because they really do. They do want to see you succeed. To be honest, I have no benefit from seeing you succeed. You get no benefit from any of my success. You get none. But yet, I still want to see you win. I still want to see Mahalia win. Mahalia's got an amazing story. I'm excited for her. Has no benefit to me. But your success rubs off on me. So, that's why I love what we do. It's fun. It should be fun. But look, for me, 16-week challenge, get involved. It's 16 weeks. It's going to go by. You might as well just get involved, Anyway, right. We're going to finish off with Joey's final thoughts. Let me see. Hold on. I want my banner. Before we do that, just let everybody know. Let me see. Hold on. Right. So, facebook.com/joey.onga. Find out more about what Joey's doing there. You can find me on facebook.com at the real Mick McQuillan, where I'm always posting lots of things, which hopefully inspire and influence you to look and feel the best you felt in a decade, get in better shape. And look, you might be thinking, well, look, you're no oil painting either, Mick. I know I'm not. I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress, right? We all are. So, we're going to go to Joey's final thoughts. I want to know what, because we're talking about setting goals and transforming your life, owning your life, taking ownership, and sacrifices that come with setting goals. So I want Joey to, give us his final thoughts and put a big ribbon on it.
Thank you, Mike. I have to conclude with, acknowledge the belief and the relationship and the friendship that we have, because I always say with you, one day we're going to look back and glad social media have recording those things, because it might be one of our generation, our young one will grow up one day and look at us and say, look at those two bastards, what they are doing. So, but anyway, it's good to have a sense of humor, have a laugh. And, if you don't have a laugh and have a bit of fun on the journey, that's the fuel to the fire. And you talk about, sharing our journey together, sharing our ideas and our thoughts. For me, it goes back to the label of our podcast. It's a passion of growth with a lifestyle attached. And, that's why we keep nailing on the personal growth, because goal setting is a personal growth. Sacrifice is a personal growth. Owning your life is a personal growth. The growth has to start from you. it's not gonna be start from someone else. The growth has to be start from you. And we started with Bob said, you have to make a committed decision. He doesn't say your wife have to make a committed decision. Your sibling or your children should have no. He said you. And if you're watching this, we're talking about you. Make a committed decision. It's all start from you. The growth has to start. You have to show up. You have to turn up. You have to make a life sacrifice to what you want in life. But Mike, I have to be softened up. With all the gift that we have, if there's no love, there's no personal growth. If there is no love, there's no goal setting. If there's no love, there's no own your life or ownership. If there's no love, there's no sacrifice. And I have to close it with my little memory verse that I always like when I reflect back on my journey with my faith. For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, so that he died on the cross because to save the many. And Jim Rohn said it best. Service the many, lead to greatness. My friend, thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you for your wonderful thoughts and questions. And we believe that one day that seed that we're planting today will become a tree and bear fruit, so the next generation will be make benefit from it. So thank you very much for the time, and I really appreciate it.
Brilliant, Joey. Listen, don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. Click the notifications so that you can find out when Joey and I are on. And usually around the same time every Sunday. But of course, don't forget, go to Joey's page, go to my page, and you can follow more about what we're doing there. But look, get involved. Get involved in your own life. Get involved in your own life. That's what Joey's been talking about. And setting goals is a way to do that. But remember, like Joey says, do it with love.
You see, we are created in a magnificent vibration, in an absolutely magnificent vibration. Born risk takers. Free. That conditioning takes place after birth. You can change it. It takes guts. It takes goals. Do you know something? You're sitting there watching this and you're thinking, by God, I'm going to change something. I always say, keep reminding yourself that you have tremendous reservoirs of potential within you, and therefore you are quite capable of doing anything you set your mind to. You really can. I don't care what the cynics tell you. Quit listening to some of your peers. Now all you must do is figure out how you can do it, not whether you can or not. When are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? You've got to create a sense of urgency. I'm going to do it right now.
If you can see it, you can do it. But the beautiful truth is you can do anything. We got to know there is a place. There is a specific frequency. And if you get on that frequency, you're going to attract what you need to you. This is what it's all about. Why have you been endowed with such awesome powers? If you'll make a committed decision, this I'm going to do. And you don't have to know how. You do not have to know how. The second you make the committed decision, you flip your brain onto the frequency that you have to be on to attract what you have to attract to manifest the thing that you want. If you can see it, you can do it. It's got to be something you want. Wants come from inside. Act like you're already there. Walk, talk, speak, live like you're already there. Don't set a small goal. Don't set something that doesn't really wind your stem. Set it so big it jazzes you. It really gets you going. When something of a very high nature resonates with the very high side of you, you'll know it. You'll know it. You will feel it. Feeling is conscious awareness of vibration. The only prerequisite, do you want it? Not do you need it, not could you do it. The only prerequisite is, do you want it? Take the lid off your marvelous mind and dream. For goodness sake, give yourself the right to do that. Get your analytical mind out of the way. Put it in your pocket for a while. All you're doing is exploring, daydreaming. What did Lawrence say? All men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night in the dusty recesses of their mind waken the day to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act their dream with open eyes to make it possible. This I did.